Coming to you live from deep in the heart of Texas, it's Midweek Marketing with your host, Timothy Black. Each week, Tim will be diving into what it takes to market successfully online, SEO, design, affiliate marketing, and more. And now, here's your host, Timothy Black.
Hello and welcome back to Midweek Marketing, Episode 4. I'm your host, Timothy Black. This week's topic is going to be retargeting, aka remarketing, aka the ads that follow you around. Anyway, if you haven't done so yet, be sure to go over to our website, midweekmarketing.com, and sign up to our email list. And see, right now I've got a little cheat sheet glossary of all these terms that people in the marketing world, online marketing world use, and it's a little handy guide to have. So I'll give you that if you just give me your email address. If you haven't been to our Facebook page, it's facebook.com/midweekmarketing. And also be sure to subscribe and review and leave a comment and all that kind of good stuff over at iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you like to listen to podcasts. Anyway, so on to this week's marketing topic, and it is retargeting and remarketing. And what that is it's the banners that I'm sure we've all seen this. They kind of follow you around. You go visit a website, and then you leave the website. A good example would be Amazon or another e-commerce site, and you start browsing around, looking at sports or USA Today, checking out the news, the weather, and you see ads for the website you just left. Come back and buy this from the shopping cart, etc. You've seen all those kind of ads. Well, it works gangbusters in online marketing. It's pretty easy to set up. It's a great service to sell if we were trying to replace our income. This is something I always focus on. People always ask me and my wife, our company, what we do exactly. Well, we sell online marketing and websites to people. And this is an easy one. This is a good foot in the door. So let's talk a little bit about remarketing and retargeting. Why those two terms? Well, one, remarketing is what Google calls that particular process, and retargeting is what Facebook calls that process. And I may have those completely backwards. I get them backwards all the time, but I think that's right. Anyway, so the best way to sell this, I'm going to jump ahead here, is if somebody comes to your website and like 2 days later, they see your ads wherever they go, on their phone or online when they're browsing around. I've gotten more clients that way because people are like, what are you doing? You're haunting me. I traveled and I went to North Carolina and I saw your ads at their local paper. Well, people don't really understand still how this process works. It's pretty simple. So the way it works is at Google, you go set up an AdWords account. So AdWords is mostly known for pay-per-click marketing. So pay-per-click is the ads that show on the top and bottom of the page on Google. It used to be on the right-hand side. Yeah, they used to be on the right-hand side, but they just got rid of that a few months ago, and now there's only ads on top and bottom, if you've noticed that. Well, that's those ads, and that's the pay-per-click world. We'll get into that in a different episode. But that's Google AdWords, and so there's a secondary function of AdWords, and that is retargeting ads or remarketing ads. And so what we have to do is you have to set up an account with Google, with AdWords, and pretty easy to do. I tend to outsource it. I've got a guy that works for me that's really much better at it than me, and I can tell you all about that later in another episode on outsourcing and arbitrage. We'll get to those in episodes 6, 7, 8, etc. But you set up the account, you upload banners, because the banners come in all different sizes. I'll talk to you about that in a second. And what it does is it generates this piece of code. Well, the piece of code has to go on the website. And if you want to get technical, it goes in the footer of the website, which means it's at the bottom of every page. So no matter where they go on the site, if they land on the home page or an interior page or an article or a blog post, then they get cookied, is what the term is called. They get cookied with this little piece of software, and that little piece of software lives on their browser. And that is how they get followed around. So what happens is there are millions and millions and millions of websites that host Google Ads, and they show ads based on, people kind of bid to be seen. So what happens is you go to Amazon probably will bid higher than a lot of people, and then wherever they go to USA Today or NFL.com or wherever, wherever they go, and who sponsor, no, I'm sorry, not who sponsors, but who hosts those Google ads. Well, then those ads will show. They'll give preference because it's based on the cookie that you've been cookied with. So what happens is if you go to one of our websites, merchantandblack.com, that's our marketing firm website, you'll get cookied there. So if you want to see a great example of that, go to merchantandblack.com. You will get cookied with our cookie, and then in the next couple of days, you're going to see our ads everywhere you go. And that is because simply like I said, Google is showing preference because I have got that piece of code on your browser. I literally have a real estate client, and he's up around Brenham, kind of rural Texas, between Houston and Austin. And he does ranch and farm real estate. And we did some ads for him on Facebook, and we pushed him to his site showing this cool ranch that he had for sale. And I was out there visiting him a couple of weeks ago, and this is a great story. His aunt, it's a family business, his aunt was in the office, and she was saying that somebody had seen their ad in Dallas, because we targeted, Dallas, Austin, Houston for people that might want, this $1 million ranch property. That's a whole other episode. We'll talk about that too, how to target people. And they got a phone call from a lady, and she said, "Can you please take your ads off my computer? They're driving me crazy." She was actually a real estate agent, and she was just frustrated seeing my clients' ads wherever they go. So people they think it's voodoo. They think that you're in their brain or on their computer, but all it is you've got this piece of code, the cookie on their browser, and all they have to do is go, delete cookies or clear their cache or history, and all that stuff disappears. But people don't really realize how it works. And if they hit you on the phone, if they hit you on their desktop or laptop, wherever they go, they'll get cookied, and they're separate. They're separate browsers for all that. Anyway, it's fascinating. It works really well. It's fascinating that people don't understand it. It works super, super well. And it's a pretty easy service to sell. It's a minimum like $500 service a month because of the work involved. You've got to set that stuff up for people if they don't already have an AdWords account. A lot of people already do have AdWords account, which is good, but you've got to go in there and kind of set up the secondary part of it, and that's the remarketing inside Google. So that, there's a cost there. And then the other thing is you've got to get the graphics done. You've got to get 9 different sizes of banners made. And what that means is, depending on the site where they host Google Ads, they might choose to have a skyscraper ad, which is like a vertical ad, or they might have a horizontal ad or a big square ad, and you've got to do all these different sizes with the graphics based on whatever your customers their logo or tagline or phone number, all that kind of stuff. So you do have to get those designed too. And the other thing is you want to keep, if you can, change them every month, which a lot of people are resistant to, or every quarter, because what happens is people start seeing those ads and they get what they call banner blindness. So they look right through the ad. But it's great because if you do that, you can always, that kind of justifies your monthly cost to them. And it's good because they can promote certain things, like say they've got a special event coming up or a seminar, or, just depends on the client. They've got a sale, whatever, Thanksgiving sale or anything like that. You can change those banners out pretty quickly, get them outsourced in a couple days and put them back up there. And then they have a separate campaign. Works, like I said, gangbusters. That is remarketing. And if you do set this up, say for yourself, you'll get referrals. Like I have a client that sent me other clients because they see their ads everywhere. Like, what the heck are you guys doing? Well, call my buddy Tim over at Merchant of Black, and he'll set you up. So we get clients like that all the time. It's a great service, $500 a month. So I just want you to, back to episode 1, I want you to think about how you can replace your income. Can you get 5 clients like that a month or 10 clients a month? You probably can. It's a cool service, and it's a good foot in the door to other things too, which is the key. You do one good thing, do it well, and then you can sell them other services like SEO or maybe a new website, et cetera, et cetera. Email marketing, my favorite. And it's a great thing to do in conjunction with email marketing. What I like to do for people is, we write emails weekly or biweekly. And, you always want to have something in the email that makes them click back to the site. Like say maybe you start an article or a blog post or an interesting fact. Well, you make them click back to the site to finish reading it. It's a pretty good trick. Works really well. You get more interaction with the site, and the real benefit is they get cookied with that bit of code. So that is Google. Oh, and the other thing you want to do is, this is the other trick. Google only charges you when somebody clicks on an ad. So give you an example. We work for a small well control company here, oil company. And we set up retargeting ads with them. It was a small startup, so they didn't have a huge email list, like 400 or 500 people. All the founders kind of gave me access to their Outlook, and we cleaned it up and started emailing them. Anyway, that first month, they looked bigger than they really were. People were calling them from all over the world, like literally, because they have clients everywhere. And they're like, I see your ads everywhere. So they were coming from literally all over the globe, and they looked bigger than they were right out of the gate just because of those retargeting ads. And I think in the first month, we had 40 or 45,000 impressions. So their ads showed 45,000 times. But this is the trick. they were just brand reinforcements. Like the banners we did weren't really meant to be clicked. And what I mean by that is, like, if you've got an Amazon banner following you around saying, hey, come back and make sure to get these shoes, or, Zappos has an ad, make sure to, you abandon your cart, make sure to, come in and complete the checkout process. That kind of banner message is asking for a click. And so when you click on that, that's when Google charges you $1 or $2 a click. The other thing you can do is not get the click. So it's just a purely here we are kind of thing. We're in your brain. And so this company had thousands and thousands of those ads show over their first month. And I think we spent like $102 on it. So that was like the best $100 they ever spent as far as branding and getting their name out there. Pretty amazing. So that's kind of the psychology of it. You can either make the banners to click or not to click. And so in our case, a lot of times we don't want people to click. We just want brand reinforcement because we're trying to, not spend a ton of money. You want it to be inclusive of your fee. Like, say if you charge them $500, well, you don't want to spend $500 on ads or on clicks. You want to spend, $100 or $200, and that way you're profiting, a couple $300, making some money on it, which is a good, like I said, it's a good service to sell. And the other thing is, it also covers YouTube. So there's a really long, narrow, horizontal ad, and that's a YouTube ad. So it works in the Google realm and on YouTube. And there's also banner ads on YouTube up in the corner a lot of times. So there's the pre-roll, the stuff at the bottom that everybody clicks off. Well, believe it or not, those still are super impactful. And there's other banner ads on YouTube. So keep that in mind. When you set up the Google AdWords, it's also going to populate in YouTube, which is, as we know, like the second or third biggest site in the world. And then let's bounce over to Facebook real fast. Facebook calls it retargeting. Exact same thing. When you set up an account there, they generate what's called a pixel, which is their word for code. And what happens is when they hit the site, when somebody visits your site, like a Merchant in Black, for instance, they'll get that piece from Google, that cookie from Google, and they'll get the pixel, aka cookie, from Facebook. And what happens is you have retargeting ads that show up just inside the Facebook ecosystem. So it's another way to reinforce. So now you're in two major spots. Same kind of deal. You just want reinforcement. You don't really want clicks, although they're not nearly as expensive in Facebook. And a lot of times it's a good way to build up a page if people want to get likes or information to their Facebook page. That's another trick too. So it's another service you can sell for. You can tack it on for another couple $100, or you can do a 2-for-1 or something like that. There's all kinds of ways to sell these things to clients, and or set them up yourself if you're a client trying to figure out how to get more bodies in the door. This is a great way. Retargeting, remarketing. Let me consult my notes here. And I think that's everything we were going to cover this week. Yeah, that's it. And a lot of this can be outsourced, and I can talk about that too in upcoming episodes. We'll talk about arbitrage and outsourcing. You can pay people not very much money to set this kind of stuff up for you. And that is it. I'll put some other stuff in the show notes over on the website. And we are at about 13 minutes. So good. I like to keep these under 15. Kind of short and punchy and to the point. So, as always, I'll just remind you to go over and subscribe over at iTunes, or come visit us on our website, midweekmarketing.com. Follow us on Facebook. And if you got value from this episode, know somebody who else that would get value, share it with them. Pass it on. Help grow the tribe over here at Midweek Marketing. New episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. And that is it. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thanks for tuning in to Midweek Marketing. Come back every Tuesday and Thursday for new episodes. And be sure to subscribe at iTunes and sign up at midweekmarketing.com to get exclusive content and tips. And check us out at facebook.com/midweekmarketing.